You are watching Area DMG.
Welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Wesley the Mile High Mouth, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the Nintendo Switch, or rather, the two greatest accessories for the Nintendo Switch that no one has made yet, but they really should. In other words, the two most essential Switch accessories that don't exist yet. They probably exist in some deep, dark corner of Nintendo, but you know, they really should exist outside of that. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Nintendo Switch. Now, you see this right over here, this little stand? If you don't own a stand, you're owning a Nintendo Switch wrong. But you should get one of these, seriously. It's fantastic. There's like multiple different ways to, multiple viewing angles. And it's really great for like setting up your Switch and locking it into place and then watching things or doing other stuff with that. However, there's a bit of an issue with the Nintendo Switch. You know, there's the power button. Okay, there's a bit of an issue with the Nintendo Switch in this particular scenario. Let's go ahead and get this open. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the games that are available for it. You see, one thing I really loved about the Nintendo 3DS, aside from the Street Pass stuff, is that the Nintendo 3DS also had a lot of productivity devices. Like there's the Art Academy stuff, Art Academy, Pokemon Art Academy, Disney Art Academy. It had the Miiverse and Swap Note. There are a zillion different pixel programs available for it. I mean, there's like Inchworm Animation. There's Butterfly, Inchworm Animation 2. Comic Workshop. Colors 3D. Comic Workshop 2. Painting Workshop, Flipnote Studio 3D, Pixel Maker, Pixel Paint. We mentioned Art Academy before. There were all sorts of different snapshot stuff. There's no camera on the Switch. It doesn't really need one. But yeah, you had all sorts of music creation stuff too, like the Nintendo DSi Instrument Tuner, the Metronome, Rhythmic, KORG M01D, KORG, DSN12, and all sorts of other little music creation stuff. You had a wide variety of music creation tools on the Nintendo 3DS, and the new 3DS, and the 2DS, the new 2DS XL, the new 3DS XL, the 3DS XL, and so forth and so on. But those are missing from the Nintendo Switch because of, well, there's lack of a particular kind of device. Similar to these, you can't really like, I mean, that right there, you're probably going to break that. It's not really stable like that, but there's nothing that allows you to put your Switch down on like a stand and hold it flat without covering up these two little vents in the back. Which, I mean, if you've got it plugged in, or if you've got like a cat, you're going to get cat hair on the bottom of it. If you're at a bar, you don't want to put this down like that. Games like Othello, or the upcoming Monopoly or VOEZ are actually great if you put them on a stable surface. And nobody, not even the people who 3D print stuff, have made a stand that allows you to just put the Nintendo Switch flat on a table. Or even like this, or like this, in tape mode for games like the Neo Geo ones, or for future shoot-em-ups, or the Namco arcade classics. Yeah, you can't really, there's nothing to just, they just want you to put it here, or just use that stupid little kickstand, or put it at an angle. No, with some games, like Othello, if you're using the touchscreen, you want to be able to put it like this. With the upcoming games like Monopoly or if they do like a Clubhouse Games or whatnot, you're going to want to put it like this. And that brings me to something that Nintendo did for the Wii U. Nintendo put out these things that came with Wii Party U. See these little stands? They would hook right here on the Nintendo Wii U and allow you to put it down like a table. This allows you to play certain games on this bike by moving these controllers or doing this. And let's be perfectly honest, the way the Switch is designed, if you had one person hold it here and one person hold it there, you could do, like, say, a Pong type thing, or you could do other stuff with that. There are instances where you may want to lay the system flat. And considering that there's so much cat hair around here, or if you're in a bar or a restaurant or at someone else's house and you don't really want to put it flat down on the table, which, seriously, I mean, that's just bad and poorly thought out. Nintendo and other people who 3D print stuff haven't even thought of a good solution for this. I have not seen any flat table ones. I mean, to give you kind of an idea, I've got two of these. There's nothing that lets me just pop this up and kind of hold it like that in place. This kind of works in a pinch, but it's not the most stable. And on some things, it'll move around a bit. Like with VOEZ, it'll move all over the place. What needs to be done is, I've seen a bunch of those different stands that slide into here. We need something that slides into here, and has little feet, allows you to put it straight down. If somebody with access to 3D printing technology could print out something that lets you slide like two little actual table legs into here, or adapt something like this so that you could use this in tape mode. Let me go ahead and move that. There you go. That would be fantastic. I mean, you can kind of do it with this, but it still moves around a little bit. And it's not perfect. We need something that allows you to not just put it in tape mode, which is this tabletop, like the up-down, and something that allows you to place it flat perfectly. And the reason for that is because, well, there's one more thing that nobody's thought to make, or that Nintendo hasn't announced yet, that would make the Nintendo Switch even more of a it would benefit it greatly. And oddly enough, I'm going to say that this device needs a stylus. Now, it can use any capacitive stylus, right? But what I really want them to do is to put out a stylus similar to like the Apple Pencil or the Surface Pen, and then maybe some kind of Art Academy. Because like you have this huge multi-touch screen. If I had a way to just place it down and then just draw and then import those out later on to Twitter, Facebook, or to a private server, or send them remotely to my PC, that would be wonderful. They should treat the Nintendo Switch like a tablet. I mean, VOEZ does that already. It's fantastic, but it's kind of hard to either hold it in one hand and use that, or just kind of place it flat on the table and use it. Because like, you place it flat on the table, you're going to get covered in horrible hair, or goodness knows what's been on that table. Seriously. And the little stand is really no help with VOEZ or other games like it. Like, for example, Monopoly is coming out. And that's a game that could really use to be just placed flat down. I mean, there's a real market that Nintendo is missing with this. I mean, we have things like Jackbox, for example. Now, with Jackbox, if you're not going to connect it to the TV, sticking that in the middle of the table flat is not a bad idea. If you can elevate it from, you know, a little bit above whatever counter, table, or bar that you're putting it on. And it just kind of makes sense that there should be some kind of stand like that, but no one seems to have made one. I mean, at least not that I've seen. I'd love to see one. I'd love to get one. If any of these companies want to make one, that would be fantastic. Also, seriously, the idea of turning this into a gaming tablet table is a great idea, because then they could open up this, like with the addition of a pencil type device for use with music creation programs or with art creation programs, like an actual stylus similar to like the Apple Pencil or the Surface Pen that, you know, had like a little home button on the top and like one or two buttons here, so you could draw and erase with the same thing. It could be pressure sensitive and hand canceling, and they could sell it for like $80. It'd be fine. But yeah, they really should put out some kind of stable, some type of stable horizontal stand. A lot of Nintendo devices like the Wii, the Wii U, and even things like the PS2, the PS3, the PS4, the Xbox One, all of these have horizontal stands. The Xbox 360 has one. They've got vertical stands and horizontal stands. The Nintendo Switch needs a horizontal stand. Mainly so that I can also use it like... Think about how great this would be with its multi-touch capacitive screen as a music creation tool. You've got your inputs up. You've got your audio out up here. You can attach a DAC, or digital audio converter, to boost its output, and then you can plug it in here, and then you could set it up, mount it with like that particular stand, and you've got something you can work on. You could even use it for like a sound effect board in a podcast or whatnot. There are so many different things you could do with it that they're not doing because it's missing a good actual stylus, not capacitive stuff like this, but a stylus with actual Bluetooth and actual controls on it, and a proper horizontal stand. Ultimately, I'd love to see them do this so that they could do board games, like Clubhouse Games. You have Mahjong, you have, I forgot, Hanafuda, you have Solitaire, Poker, chess, checkers, Chinese checkers, Othello, like I'm playing here, Monopoly. You could even get other types of cooperative board games. I mean, think about a world where you could go out and be like, oh, I'm going to go buy Pandemic for the Switch. You just bring it over. You don't have to worry about the pieces or anything like that. You've got them all on your board, and everyone would discuss things, or you would have a portable board game board. Things like Pandemic would work on this. Other board games would work on it. You can do like what they do with Jackbox, where each person uses a phone in conjunction with it. Like, for example, you would have the board on the screen for Catan, and then everyone that's got a phone or a PC around there, they would have their cards in front of them. This would work well with stuff like Ticket to Ride, or so many other different board games. Because the Nintendo Switch is a social animal, and until it has a proper horizontal stand and a proper actual stylus, it's kind of missing some of that great potential. There's a lot of artistic potential, music creation potential, art potential that could be done with the Nintendo Switch. I know for a fact that the Art Academy series, of which there are several, in fact there's Art Academy Lessons for Everyone, there's some DSi digital only stuff, Pokemon Art Academy, and Disney Art Academy. I know for a fact that these sold fairly decently. There's a reason they made so many of them. And then games like Clubhouse Games, Crosswords DS, things like that. Picross. Wouldn't it be better to do, instead of using the buttons for Picross, you'd just be like, oh, okay, I push in the button here so I can check my X's, and then I'll push in this button so I can fill in a space. And then like you could just tap it normally and you could control it with the buttons on it. Hit this top button to go back to the home. menu or to do other things. Like your capture button would be right here. Capture button, home button. Or capture button, home button, then BA or whatnot. There's a lot that they could do with this system that they just haven't done yet or haven't announced yet. And I really feel that the main weakness of the Nintendo Switch right now, aside from, I mean, it's only got about 40 plus games or so right now in like what, its second month or so? March, April, yeah. We're almost done with its third month, and it's only got about close to 50 games or so. Not bad, but they could be using this for so much more. And I feel that making a horizontal stand for it and an official Nintendo Bluetooth pencil or pen type stylus with built-in things like you would have on a Wacom tablet would be the perfect way to expand the capabilities of the Nintendo Switch without a hardware revision and with meaningful educational content. And they could pursue board game companies with that. I mean, seriously. Things like Jackbox, Othello, Monopoly coming out this year. These are great ideas. And I kind of feel that we just don't have everything yet to bring out the full potential of the Nintendo Switch. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Do you know anybody who's making a horizontal stand for the Nintendo Switch? Because I need one. This thing is not stable, and I don't want to put the Nintendo Switch directly on the table. That's kind of horrible. I mean, look, I pulled this up here. You could accidentally, there could be like stains, or the cat can come up and just knock it over. All sorts of things. There's cat hair somewhere around here, but just, it's so awkward, and it's a terrible oversight. And those are the two major accessories that the Nintendo Switch needs that nobody's making yet. Seriously. I mean, why not? Just announce that. We need it. And yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. Hit that share button if you haven't already. Contact and bug your local parts manufacturers or local 3D printing professionals and say, hey, horizontal stand that lifts this at least half an inch or so off the table. That would be perfect, especially if I could just slide it into these sections right here. That would be great. That would be really great. That's your homework if you make 3D printable stuff. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think. Hit that share, like I said earlier. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And then make sure that you ring that little bell so that you are told whenever we have brand new videos out here on Area DMG. And until the next new video comes out, you are now caught up.